We're at Southern Conference Football Media Day. I'm Dave Friedman. That's Shawn Watson, head coach of the Wofford Terriers. This is year number 4. Mm-hmm. How have the first 3 gone to get you here to the 4th year?
Well, as you know, we had a rebuild and a redo, and I really feel like we've got our football team, and it's guys that we brought into the program, and I really feel good about the guys, staff. I'll start with the staff, and then our players. I feel good about our whole operation right now because we've got a culture that's really cool. We've got a great vibe in our building. And, our older kids have bought in, poured in, and, they've been through a lot of stuff, and especially my 5th-year guys. And, I just want to see good things happen for them. I like where we're at, though. I do.
Last year, I think you were the only team in the country to start 2-0 and beat 2 teams who had been in the playoffs the previous year. And then you gave William and Mary a real run for their money. What went well early?
We were, I knew we had a chance to be pretty good because our talent, especially the defense side of the ball was returning a lot of guys. So I knew if we could just get, we could play to them offensively, and we did. We did a good job early in our season, and we took some injuries, and that's when, we fell off a bit. But then we came back, and had 2 nice wins, conference wins in our season, and. I just didn't like the way we finished. I thought we could have finished better. And that's what we've done really since that time is teach our young guys because we're playing with a lot of really talented young players in our sophomore, well, there'll be, juniors and sophomore class now. Teach them how to finish.
A lot of losses at the skill positions. Who will we see in those roles this year?
You know what? I tell you what. Offensively, we're really talented. I think you're going to see. Kyle Parsons has had a really big spring for us. He's been one of our best football players because a lot of times people don't see all he does for us on special teams. He does a lot of really good things. Had a really good spring as a running back, and then he's got a very, very competitive room. So we went out and we recruited to make it competitive, hit the portal, and got some guys out of that I really think are going to add to us. And then we did a really nice job. I feel like in the recruiting high school kids and bringing them, developing them in the program. So I like where that room is. Our wide receiver room is really, really talented, and I think we're going to have a really talented quarterback room too. I like what we have there, and I like our tight end room. And this is like a first time on offense, I could tell you, because it's been a slow process in rebuilding the offensive line, taken from an option attack to more of a base, more of a what is a spread offense. And then, we have an offensive line, and that's where we've been working so hard in the first first 3 years is, recruiting, building, developing, and I really feel good about that. Defensively, some key guys back, and we're going to have to replace our corners. That's going to be our biggest replace. We have 4 great kids that played for us that we've got to replace.
When you look at the defense, on paper, it feels like it's going to be a strength. Is that accurate?
Well, I think it will be. I say I think because we really did a really nice job offensively this spring against a really good defense, and we've got guys like Brandon Mena, Seth Foster, Marion Smokes coming back, and Marion had a really nice freshman year for us. Old Brown had a big, had a really coming out party for us last year as a freshman. So the defensive front's going to be really, they're going to be really good. And then, I think our linebacker core, we're going to have, some. It'll be interesting because we're really young and talented there. So, and some, they've got guys who got experience. When I say young, they played last year. Some of them played, but they don't have. They weren't maybe not a starter, but they did play significant. I think Jalen Rambert is a star waiting to become a star. I mean, he's a really good football player. So just one guy that pops in my mind. And our 2 safeties, I don't know if there's 2 better ones in the United States of America at the FCS Division I level than Max Pulley and C.J. Coombs. They were very talented. And we got Eli Campbell who joins that mix, and he's a really good football player. So I think for us defensively, it's going to be, we're going to have to, young corners. R.J. Brunson's had a really good spring. Played for us last year, but because of the depth, he didn't play, as much as you maybe would have liked. We did play him to develop him. Played a lot on teams, and he had a big spring. So, and he's a kid that can do a lot for you because he's a big guy. As a corner. So, I really like where our team is, and we've just got to, we've got to do like everybody else. I mean, we're all talk on paper right now, and the thing that's really different about college football, I noticed some of the, major Division I schools aren't even doing a preseason list because rosters are all different.
Yep.
I mean, because you don't know who they are. So it's kind of like, I think we're all in the same boat. I talked to a lot of my compadres out there, head coaches at all the various different levels, and everybody's about the same. It's what you build and really, the portal this past year and recruiting and how you develop it. So coaching really matters.
What do you make of the SoCon?
SoCon's a great league. I think all of us would tell you the same thing. We beat each other up. Week in and week out, you better bring it. You better come. You better show up. Because if you don't, you're going to get beat. And it's just, it's a very, very well-coached league. There's a lot of really good football players now in the league. And I think, it's just a mentality. Whether you're at home or you're away, it does not matter. You better bring your A game.
There is a narrative that parity, you can beat any team, you can lose to any team on a given Saturday, is great for fans. It's competitive. The teams are fairly on an even playing field. But because of that, you beat each other up, and it's been difficult, at least last year, to get extra teams in the playoffs. Do you like playing everyone, the true round robin?
Well, I think it's really good for the league. I do. I think, the things that, it'd be hard not to do it any other way, and I think it's interesting because then we all play people outside the league. Last year we played William and Mary and Richmond. Those are two of the better programs, United States of America. And I like that. I personally like that. That's a challenge. That's a reason I love being at Wofford. I expected to win, and we're going to play the best. And so not only do we get it in our league, but we're going to get outside the league. And I think it's a great test for us. I don't have any complaints about our schedule. I just know our league like we're talking about. It is a great league. And I had a lot of respect for the guys I, compete against in our league because it's a well-coached league.
What's the expectation for the season?
For us, it is always going to be the same thing, and that's to be a champion. I don't think I wanted to be at Wofford College because that's what they expect. And, we knew we were in a building process, and we had to rebuild. So it was, and I've got people that are patient. They understand and they get it because of where we were coming from. So, again, just like we started talking when we got together, I feel like I've really got my team, and I feel good about where we're at, and I feel good about the human beings, coaches and players. I love my staff; they're a great group of guys, and we expect to go out there and what's cool about FCS Division I football. You got young men that love the game, coaches that love the game, and we're all coaching and playing because we truly do love the game, and it's great. It's every Saturday is fun. Every day of the week's fun. So, it's a good product. I love FCS Division I football. That's why I'm here.
Give us a key. It could be a player. It could be a stat. It could be a unit. Something that, if it goes well, you guys could be pretty scary this year.
Well, I think it's really going to be the development of our quarterback. We probably, since I've been at Wofford, and this is a really good quarterback room. I've been fortunate over my career to know what those rooms look like. I've had some great rooms, and we've got that room at Wofford College. And in order to, play at a high level, and I would say throughout the SoCon, because of the competitiveness we're talking about, it's all about the quarterback. And then, in the quarterback, when I say it's all about the quarterback, learning to be a game manager and managing his resources, managing his scheme. And I think that's our biggest challenge. We've got some tremendous playmakers. And, we've got to get the ball in their hands, and we've got to not turn it over.
The fans watching. want to know a little bit more about who that quarterback is going to be. Can you offer us a hint?
No, I tell you what, it was so competitive in the spring. I tell you what we do. We just really, and I've refused. I've done this with the kids since they've been there. Is everybody's on an even plane right now because we're teaching. We redid our whole entire quarterback room and through the portal. Jaden Whitaker, I really like him. He's a coach's kid. He's so brilliant. I mean, straight A student, and he is smart. He conceptually gets it, and because he's a coach's kid. When you say manage a game, he knows how. I really, JT Fayard is a very talented young man, big arm kid that had a nice year last year, and he can really play too. He's a really good passer. And then the young freshman now, I tell you what, now he is really good. And I think he can, he's going to give the two older guys a run for the money because he's such a tremendous talent.
We'll be watching that game at South Carolina State on the 30th to see who takes the field, and wish you the best of luck.
Appreciate it.
Shawn Watson, head coach of Wofford.